Hello and welcome to Formulas with Claude. My name's Jeff, I'm glad you're here. Let's just jump right in. In this short video, I'm going to demonstrate the Claude add-in and show you how it can build really cool and very sophisticated formulas very quickly. I think it's pretty cool. Let's head straight to Excel. Exercise 1. Let's first start by getting this add-in into Excel. We just go to add-ins. Then we search for Claude. Then we click add. Now it's going to ask you to log into your account. Once you get logged in, you can see that we can take actions in Excel, like build financial models, explain this workbook, transform messy data, and debug my formulas. Plus we can put in our own prompt. And before I enter my prompt, let's just kind of get familiar with this workbook. Let me close this. All right, on the data tab, we have a bunch of transactions: date, invoice ID, customer, product, category, sales rep, quantity, unit price, revenue, cost, and profit. Let's go to the lookups tab. Here we can see we have customer, and this ties back to the data, okay? We also have region and account tier, credit limit, and payment terms. You'll notice that in order to categorize anything by region, we need to do a lookup on customer because region does not appear in the transactions. So anytime you're going to get any type of region data, we need to do a lookup based on the customer. Cool? Okay. That's our basic setup. Now let's go to exercise 1. I want to have Claude create a dropdown so I can pick a customer. Then I want it to write a formula that looks up the selected customer from the lookups table and returns their account tier, region, and credit limit. So whichever customer I pick, I want it to go return these basic values. Cool? Okay. Then I want it to give me the total revenue, profit, and number of units for the selected customer. And that should all be done with dynamic formulas, so I can pick any customer and the formulas will update. And column A is what I use for labels, so begin your work in column B. Okay, let's see if this can work. I'm going to go ahead and Control-C copy this prompt, open the Claude add-in, paste, and go. And I'm going to speed this up. Okay, it finished its analysis and it says Claude wants to add rows for labels and formulas. Deny, always allow, allow once. I'll always allow it. Okay, and then it finished up. So let me widen up this. Okay, let me widen up this. Okay, great. Now I want to spot check these values to see if this is working as expected, but I also want to walk you through the results of this. Basically, let me start by reading the relevant data to understand the structure of the lookups table, the data table, and the exercise 1 sheet. Okay, so it got its bearings. Now let me set up everything, labels, drop-down value, and all the formulas. Now let me add the data validation. Everything is working. Let me verify the results. So it checked its own work. Everything looks great. Here's what I've set up, and it kind of walks you through what it's set up. Okay, cool. All formulas are dynamic. Just pick any customer from the drop-down. Okay, well, let's see if it worked. Here's Apex Manufacturing. Here is a new drop-down, and it looks like it did not set up the drop-down properly. So that's okay. Let's keep checking. So Apex Manufacturing is Bronze Midwest 50,000. Let's cruise over here. Apex Manufacturing, Bronze Midwest 50,000. That looks good. And then let's get the totals. Total revenue, total profit, total units. Okay, so let's just spot check this and make sure it's right. Let's cruise over to data, and I'm going to filter this table for Apex Manufacturing. I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to scoot all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to scoot over to the right here. And so we have revenue of 2104,008. 2104,008. Total profit of 1148,875. 1148,875. Total units 879. Total units 879. Okay, so I can confirm that these formulas appear to be working as expected. This data validation dropdown, however, is not. So let's have it fix it. The data validation is not working. Fix it. Okay, and I'll speed this up. Okay, permission required. I'll allow it once. Okay, the dropdown should now be working. All right, let's see if it is. Click the drop down. There it's working. This stuff is wild. Back in my day, we had to write these drop downs by hand and we loved it, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, anyways, let's keep spot checking. Atlas Construction. Okay, Silver Northeast 100,000. Atlas, Silver Northeast 100,000. That looks right. And the values, let's cruise over here and spot check it. And I'm going to cruise back over here to customer. And I'm going to update my filter to Atlas. Click OK. And let's cruise down here. Okay. So we're expecting revenue of 2,362,747. 2,362,747. Profit 1,281. Profit 1,281, and total units 923. Total units 923. Okay, so with a quick spot checking, I think that these formulas are working. I do feel like spot checking the AI's results is definitely like the move, right? Like I'm not there yet to be able to 100% trust it, but as you can see, it did this pretty quickly. And what it used for its formulas, it used the XLOOKUP function, okay, and then it used the SUMIFS function. Okay, perfect. Cool. All right, let's go to the next exercise. Exercise 2. Okay, so now what we want to see is we want to have it build a summary report that shows total revenue, cost, and profit by region sorted from highest to lowest revenue. Include a column for profit margin. Here's the catch. I want it to use formulas only, no pivot tables. All right, let's see what it does here. I'm going to copy my prompt, and I'm going to paste and go. And I'll speed this up. Okay, and it completed. So we're going to spot check a couple things, but before we do, let's scroll up here and kind of see what it did. Okay, first let me read the exercise 2 sheet and the data sheet to understand. I can see the regions, it identifies the columns. Looking at the data headers, it identifies which values are in which columns. It comes up with a plan. Now it needs to build the sorted summary. Let me use a spill-friendly approach. That approach is getting complicated. Let me think about this more carefully. Okay, I'll build a single sort by formula. Let me check what's spilled out. Okay, it's talking about the by row function, XLOOKUP. Okay, so it gives us all of this audit trail. And then it says everything is now sorted correctly by revenue descending. Let me do a quick sanity check. The revenue should sum to the total. And then it says the report is complete. So apparently it did kind of spot check its own work. So that's good. And then region summary report. So it gives us a little report here in the side panel. And then it explains how the formulas work and everything is fully dynamic. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, so we have region and we have revenue, and these values are sorted descending by revenue as we asked. We have the cost, profit, and profit margin. This should be a simple division, which it looks like it is. This is some sum product with an XLOOKUP. Okay, all that looks very complicated, but let's just spot check the totals. I'm gonna grab these, Alt equals to insert the totals. So I expect my total revenue to be 43,092. Let's cruise back over here. Let me remove this customer filter. Let's cruise down to the bottom and let's check it out. Total revenue 43,092,407. 43,092,407. Cost 16,922,312. 16,922,312. And the last one should be 26,170,095. 26,170,095. Okay, amazing. All right, that's pretty crazy. Now let's go to the next exercise, exercise 3. Okay, now what I'd like it to do is create a drop down for the category, then give me the top 3 transactions in the selected category by revenue, and then show the bottom 5 transactions based on profit. And again, column A is for labels. Let me copy this prompt, paste it, and go. And I'll speed this up. Okay, and then it finished up. And let me widen this so it's easier to see. Okay, now we'll spot check a couple things here, but let's cruise up here and just kind of see what we have. Let me first read the exercise 3 sheet, fine. Let me get the unique categories, great. Plan the layout. I'll need enough columns for the transaction details. Let me set up the drop down. Let me build the 2 output sections, filter, sort, and index. Actually, the cleanest approach is to use sort by and filter and choose rows. Now the top 3 formulas, let me see that they spelled correctly. Now the bottom 5 by profit, let me verify. Let me do a final verification. Everything looks great. And then here's a summary. And then how the formulas work, which is actually nice. Okay, so let's kind of spot check it here. I should have a drop down, and that works. So for software, the top 5 sales by revenue are these. And this looks like it's fully dynamic, which is nice. Actually, let's look at this formula. Choose rows, sort, filter, choose calls. Okay, and so this one formula generates all of the results in this blue box, which is pretty cool. And let's look at the bottom 5. This is the bottom 5 for software, and so these are the results for profit. Okay, let's just kind of spot check a couple of these. So we should be able to filter by software and sort descending by revenue. So let's cruise back over here. I'm going to select software, and we're going to sort largest to smallest. So the first 3, okay, should be Pacific, Evergreen, Northern, 45, 43, 42. Pacific, Evergreen, Northern, 45, 43, 42. Okay, amazing. And now let's go to the bottom 5, this time by profit. So we'll cruise back over here, cruise back over here. Okay, and this time I want to sort smallest to largest by profit. So we should have BrightPath Pacific Crestline 888, 898, 916. Here we have BrightPath Pacific Crestline 888, 898, 916 plus the others 933, 949, 933, 949. Okay, amazing. So this is how we can get AI, specifically the Claude add-in, to actually take actions on our workbooks, write some crazy complicated formulas by using natural language prompt. And so the good news is it creates a first draft very quickly. I don't think these are perfect, but there's certainly a very fast way to get a head start. And actually, every time we spot check the numbers, the actual numbers were right. So even if I would have preferred a different formatting or layout or column structure, the numbers were right. And even though it messed up the dropdown, when I made it aware of it, it did fix it. So I thought that was pretty cool. In any event, I hope this video has been helpful. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day. Hey Excel user, if you ever need to create summary reports, check out my Pivot Table for Beginners video. It starts at the beginning and shows how to store the data transactions in a table and then how to summarize those transactions with a pivot table report. I hope it helps unlock the incredible power of pivot tables.
This video is a production of Excel University.